Okay, so um, welcome everyone. I it's been a while actually, so I just thought we should all review the markets together and let's try and understand what has been going on in the markets. What is Bitcoin doing? A lot of people are curious and they want to know what I feel about this market currently. So I hope my audio is said audible. My audio is audible enough. So let's get to it. Um, yeah. So this is Bitcoin. So I just thought to chat Bitcoin with everyone. So let me delete all my analysis and share my thought process with everybody so that you can know how I arrive at what I think should happen in the market. So if you look at Bitcoin, it's been very very interesting recently. Very interesting. Very interesting. If you see right here, there was some kind of deviation. Okay, so I am on the monthly time frame and this is Bitcoin. So I'm just going to remove the watermark since you already know this is Bitcoin. I like to have my workspace very clean. So yeah, this was a deviation that happened around October last year. Yeah, around October, November last year, there was this sort of deviation here, and it has really, really been a lot of problem. But one thing I want you to understand is we have not lost trend. So Bitcoin is still looking healthy. This is last all-time high right here. This is all-time high of 2017, 2018. This was December 2017, January 2018. So this is the all-time high. And as you know, I've always said that when resistance is broken, it is retested for it to become support. That is why I've been saying that okay, it's possible for us to revisit 20k zone. But as it stands, I don't really think we'll be visiting that if certain things happen in this market. So I just want to share with you because it's all a speculation game. Nobody can really tell you for a fact. Well, maybe I can say for a fact sometimes. Yeah, I can tell you what will happen sometimes based on analysis, but yeah, it is still just speculations. So if you look at it, let me mark out the important levels. So this is a downtrend right here. April 2021, a downtrend started in the market. This right here. So let me change the color of that so that it can be more visible. Oh, red is not so good. Okay, yellow. So yeah, this is a downtrend right here that started, and it was actually good. It's actually a good thing that we were able to move all the way up between June 2021 to October 2021. I did not expect that we would touch this. So this makes this level a tested level for me. For people that have gone through my course, you understand what tested levels and untested. So this is a monthly tested level. So I know that the strength, I have two levels there, so I'll just remove one. Yeah, even though a lot of people see this as a deviation, which it could be, I would like to state that this is now a tested monthly level. Monthly levels are very very strong. I am operating here based on just technical analysis, not fundamental analysis, not any form of analysis, just technical analysis. Based on our technical analysis, what is the market saying and where can we see Bitcoin in the coming days? So yeah, that's what I thought to bring to us today. This Saturday I have free time on my hands, so let's look at it. We will start calling for bear market when we see trends start getting broken. Permits my English, I'm not yet to speak English, but when we start seeing trends break, there are certain things that are called trends in the market: up trends, down trends. So for us to know that the market structure has actually shifted for a fact, it has to be confirmed on major time frames. And this is why I recommend top-down analysis. So this is the monthly time frame, for example. And if you see this, you understand that Bitcoin has actually been in a form of bleed, a consecutive 3 months of consecutive downtrend, but it has not really broken any uptrend. This is not an uptrend. What happened on October 2021? It's not an uptrend, it's a single candle. I've always stated for my students that a trend consists of 2 or more candles. So if it does not have 2 candles on that particular time frame, then it is not a trend. So where are the trends on this, on the monthly time frame, that are important to us? You see right here, there is this trend. This is a trend here, because of this, and this is a downtrend. This is an uptrend, the pump that we saw. This is also a trend, and this could be a trend on a lower time frame. This singular month here could be a trend on a lower time frame, but we are on the monthly, and you are going to chart each time frame independently. So on the monthly time frame, there's no trend here. So this has not broken any trend actually on the monthly time frame. Bitcoin has not broken any trend on the monthly time frame. What I see that Bitcoin has done now is, there was a downtrend that started in the month of April 2021, that it was able to go up to make first touch on. So Bitcoin is actually showing strength. It actually showed us strength by being able to move up and test this for the first time. Although based on certain type of technicals, we could say that there is a rejection block here. So there's actually a rejection block here that was not even respected. So that is actually very good for me. This would have been considered as a rejection block. For those of you that have gone through my course, or people that interact with me, you know what rejection block is. So this is a rejection block here, and Bitcoin did not even respect it at all, like for real. It just violated the rejection block, and it went, oh my god, that's my dog. It went directly to test the trend for the first time. Yeah, a lot of people say it's a deviation. I also think it might be a deviation on the long run. That is why we just speculate. Oh my god, this dog. Sorry guys, I'll try and edit that part, but if I cannot edit it here, I'm just going to live with that. So yeah, as I was saying, Bitcoin went all the way up, and it was able to make first touch on this trend, which is good. What gives us confirmation that markets will continue moving is in a certain direction is if it is able to. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I had to like caution the dog. Yeah, so like I was saying, what gives us confirmation that market wants to continue moving in certain directions is if it has the ability to make at least first touch on the trend opposite that direction. That is, if it wants to continue moving up, it has to start testing down trends, and if it wants to start moving downwards, it has to start testing up trends. I don't know if you understand what I am trying to say, but then this is a downtrend here, and then Bitcoin showed us strength by going all the way up, and it was able to make first touch on that downtrend. That is a very, very good sign if you ask me. Although this now can be what some kind of traders called turtle soup or all of that. Some call it turtle soup, some call it a deviation and all of that. But I'm giving you the best way to trade is to trade with the trend. Like there's a saying in the market that the trend is your friend. So you don't fight the trend. Actually, you just, as much as possible, if you want to be profitable, you play the trend. Just play the trend actually. So that's it. Bitcoin was able to make first touch here. Now where are the other trends that I can see here? And ever since that time, it has been moving down by creating another kind of trend. Do you understand? So now we see that even though you have to study the nature of the market, you have to like see what is it respecting. Is it respecting resistance, or it is respecting support? Currently it looks like Bitcoin is respecting support. Okay, currently it looks like Bitcoin, I'm sorry for interruptions, Bitcoin is currently, it looks like it is respecting support and violating resistance. There is a resistance here called the rejection block. You see, it violated it here and then it just shot up. I'm charting the monthly level now. We're going to go down to the weekly level, the daily level, and as low as the 4-hour level before we can draw a conclusion. But what I'm trying to show you is you have to play everything with the trend. Bitcoin has violated uptrends. You see, it went up, it violated uptrend. Like there was no difficulty for it to test this uptrend and just break through it. Do you understand? So this rejection block here, I hope I'm making a point, but I'm trying to drive at something, so just follow with me. So this rejection block here was not necessarily respected. It was not necessarily respected by Bitcoin. Look at this candle. I don't know if you can see what I am saying here. Look at this candle. It went and just, oh, some people might call it manipulations and all of that. Yes, there's manipulation in the game, but then you have to study how price respect at certain levels for you to determine or draw conclusion on your speculation. I hope you understand, and I hope that makes sense to you. So yeah, that's it. But on the opposite side, you will see that Bitcoin did not actually violate it. So this is another rejection block. There are two rejection blocks now. You see this place here, there was a rejection block here, and now there's another rejection block here on the monthly. On the upside, which is considered as resistance, it was not respected that much. It just went up and made first touch on the start of the trend, which is this place here. But on the downside now, you see it's respecting this rejection block here. So rejection block is another form of representation of support or resistance. If you want to know more about that, then you should take my course and all of that. So yeah, so and it is credited to ICT, Inner Circle Trader. So it talks more about rejection blocks, other blocks, and all of that, and I have found them to be actually true, as you will see. So you see now that it respects this actually, and Bitcoin has not broken any trend, any uptrend. It has not broken any uptrend. It has been in a downtrend, yes, but we have not violated any form of uptrend on the monthly time frame for us to conclude yet that we are in a bear market. This is why I cannot call for a bear market currently, because the trends have not broken even on the macro scale, and for me, I consider the monthly time frame to be one of the largest time frames I should use for your analysis. So it has not really broken any trend here. Actually, it has not broken any uptrend, because this is the uptrend I can see here. You see this candle and this candle forms an uptrend. I told you it takes two candles to form an uptrend, at least two. So we can have three, we can have four, but at least two candles will form an uptrend. So this is the trend here. A trend started here. Let me remove this rejection block now. I hope you have gotten the. So this is the trend here. It has not tested it at all. All it has respected is this rejection block right here. You see, it came after it made first touch on the start of the trend here. This trend that started on the 1st of April. It made first touch here, and then it came right down and respected this rejection block without yet breaking any form of trend. Bitcoin has not broken any form of trend on the macro level. It has just been a form of if you look at it in a big picture perspective, you see that it has just been playing a kind of range. Actually, it has been in a range. You see, this is the range that Bitcoin has been playing in. It has not really broken out of this range in over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In 13 months, Bitcoin has been playing in a range. You see, this downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. It has not broken any significant trend on the monthly level for us to start calling for a bear market yet. So that has not happened. We're still going to go to lower time frames and before we can draw a conclusion, but this is what I can see on the monthly time frame. Now, to determine what is respected here, I can see from experience, because I've actually trained my eye, that it is the rejection block that is respected here. So it was just normal for you what you want to see is after we hit a significant level of resistance, you have to locate where is the next support that we can bounce from. That is why when we hit this deviation, when we actually made first touch here, I had already marked out this rejection block as a place that we can see and expect a bounce. But when we start breaking this rejection block, before we can break the rejection block now, then we have to lose this trend. Once Bitcoin loses this trend, then I can start saying, oh, there's fire on the mountain, and we can come back and revisit 20k. But for now, it's not yet on the table because, yeah, what is this month? This is February, and we are just on the 5th. This is the 5th of February, and this actually is a quite significant bounce. So what we can draw from the monthly time frame now is Bitcoin has been able to ladder down into a significant monthly support, which in this case is a rejection block. This is the rejection block right here. Let me try and okay, so this from this place to this place, yeah, would be the rejection block. You see the way there were lots of rejection, and price was trying as much as possible not to go below this month. You see 1, 2, 3. Price traded down, but it was rejected. It traded down again, was rejected, and it traded down again, was rejected. So when there are lots of rejection at a point, and then it forms a swing point. You see now it's already a swing point. It came down and then it swing up. So lots of rejections that now form a swing point is what we call rejection block. It is also seen here too, and you will just mark the body of the candles to mark out your rejection block. Most of the time it might deviate, it might trade down a bit, but as long as it has not gone below the lowest wick, then you say that the rejection block has not yet been violated. And for this rejection block to even be violated, we have to test this uptrend. There's an uptrend here. This is it here. And like I've always told my students, every trend, every significant trend will not break on the first touch. We have to make first touch, we'll come down, then we know that okay, that's already a tested level. And something that I explained, the level exhaustion. Let's say for example, I don't want to deviate, let me not deviate into that and start giving us complex stuff, but then just understand that we have not broken any significant level on the monthly time frame, and Bitcoin still looks healthy. It looks healthy on the monthly time frame. This is not to say that we are not yet in a bear market. We are only building on this thing before we can come about a conclusion. So that's what I can see on Bitcoin monthly time frame. We have hit this significant resistance, and this is a good bounce. Actually, this is a good bounce. And where could I expect price to trade to for me to start saying things look healthy? I expect this will be a form of resistance. This red candle here will be a form of resistance actually. So if Bitcoin is able to start trading above this red candle, then I can say, oh, then we are ready to go. But the next form of resistance that needs to be broken for Bitcoin to continue this bull run, in my opinion, is for it to trade above this line here, and that would be what coordinates, that's 47,000. So if Bitcoin is able to trade above 47,100, I'm not calling and saying that oh, we're continuing the pump, but I'm saying that would be very very early. It will mean that oh, we respected support, and then we also held trend has not broken. That's the most important thing. Trend has not broken. So but then I don't like to keep my charts cluttered, so I'll remove this and try to keep it as clean as possible. So another thing I want you to know is define your range. So the range where Bitcoin is trading now is between this rejection block that was highly violated here, but then we came and touched this trend, and this other range here, the start of this uptrend and this rejection block. So if I am to mark it out, you will see Bitcoin is trading, this is the resistance, and this down here is the support. This is support. So this is the trend range that Bitcoin is trading. So as long as Bitcoin has not broken out of this range yet, out of this support, let me put it here so that we can understand it. This will be resistance, and let's clone it, and this will be support. So this is what I want you to see. This is the important stuff. So you see now that, oh, Bitcoin actually came up and it was able to make first touch on the resistance. I told you resistance will not be broken at first touch. If we say people are going to sell at this resistance, the first time it touches it, the highest amount of resistance will happen at that point. So it has been exhausted. Actually, this resistance has been exhausted. So I expect the next time we are coming here, there might be rejection, but not as much as this. And if you want to know more about level exhaustion, you should also go consider taking my class. So I'm not going to dive into that. So this is what I am saying here. It still looks LD. We can still play this bounce for a while, maybe something like this. I don't know. That's what I expect to see. Or maybe we can play something like this and come down. It doesn't really matter. Do you understand? It doesn't really matter. It's just speculations. So yeah, that is it. But the takeaway from this is that Bitcoin has just hit a significant support and it has bounced. That means it respected support, which is good, very, very good in fact. So now I'm not drawing any conclusion yet, but it shows to me that on the monthly time frame we are not bearish yet, we're still bullish. Bitcoin is still bullish on the monthly time frame. So these are the important levels. We see that this has been exhausted. This resistance here has been exhausted once. That is why I'm making it dotted lines. And this one, okay, it came down and respected it. So we are still within this place. So I'll still leave it for now. Now let's move down to is there any other level that is important? Delete this. So there's no other level that is important here. This is not the, as much as this looks like a downtrend, I will not consider it as a downtrend because it's just test of this original downtrend. So this is the original downtrend. It came up and tested it. Now this is just basically a correction on the monthly time frame. Yeah, so let us move now to also we have to determine, is there any form of trend that we can see, diagonal trends? Can we see any form of diagonal trend on Bitcoin? Yeah, actually we can, but it has not been tested again. So it could look like this, but since we have not yet tested it, so I'll just leave it for now and assume it doesn't really matter. So moving down to the weekly time frame. This is the weekly time frame now. Also, we have to draw out our trend. Where are the trends? It's very important for you to note. Where is the trend? Where is the trend? That's the first thing you want to be looking out for when you want to trade. So this is the start. You see, this is a consecutive trend here, so I can mark the start of it, and also yeah, bring it down. Yeah, that will be a trend. That will be a diagonal trend on Bitcoin. Do you understand? Also, if I want to mark out my levels of support and resistance based on trend, you see that all the information here, we're going to study them. We'll study all of this, but the most important ones are the recent trends that were created. It is the trends that are created that will help you determine if we are losing trend or we are gaining trend. If we are losing trend, then we are bearish, and if we are losing trend, we are bearish. If we are gaining trends, then we are still bullish. So let's look at it from 19th of July. You see there's a significant trend that was created here. Everybody can clearly see that this candle, okay, let me draw it. this week, followed by this week, followed by this week, followed by this week. Market was clearly trending, so there was a trend there. So let me mark out that trend. This is a trend. Now I'm going to mark it as my weekly trend. Yeah, so this is the start of a weekly trend. You see, it has not been tested. Yeah, after this trend, another trend was created, which is this right here. This right here. This is a trend. This is another trend. This I'm saying a trend, a candlestick. So you see, three of them already. This candlestick, this candlestick, this candlestick already creates a trend right there on Bitcoin. So we mark the trend and we see, okay, it was tested. Actually, it was tested. There was a little bounce, but then trend could not hold and market had to like just come down into the monthly. And this is why it's very important for you to chart up. Top down analysis is very important, because if you had seen this rejection block on Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, then you should have known that, oh, there's likely probability that this trend was not going to hold. And actually, the trend is not yet lost until we actually I have explained that in details, but just know that for those that have not gone through my class, this trend was not lost just because of this movement here. For us to lose this trend, we have to first test this trend. So let's say market had come down, lost this trend, and was able to come down all the way to test this other trend that was here. Then I can say, oh, we have lost this trend. What we just did now is, okay, we actually traded below it, but it seems it's already coming back up now. So if it is able to come back and close above here, then we have not necessarily lost this trend. It's just a form of fake out and market seeking liquidity. Because you agree with me that looking at this trend here, this diagonal support, you see it held here, it came down and held here. A lot of people will also want to take trades here, like a lot of retail traders that do not really know. They will want to take trades here. Why? Because they felt, oh, market has bounced here in the past and it should also bounce here. So it's also normal for the nature of the market to squeeze them out, take out all their liquidity, because yeah, that is the nature of the market. If you want to understand that in depth, you also take my class, or I don't know, try and do your own research about that. But that's it. I was actually not expecting for this trend to just come here and test and start moving up again. No, it doesn't work that way based on my research. Once we have the first and then the second trend being established, the third one will be a fake out, and then trend can continue, or we might now slide down. Do you understand? So where do I want to see? What do I want to see to start confirming now that, oh, Bitcoin will go up? Sorry, I will edit that out. If I cannot edit it, then no problem. So let's mark out the trends. I have marked down the uptrend. Now we also have to mark out the downtrend. It's just basic logic. Mark out the uptrend, mark out the downtrend, and look at it. Which trend is getting held? Which one are we losing? Then you can draw your conclusion if we are on uptrend or downtrend. It's actually quite basic. Actually quite basic. So yeah, now we see this is the start of a trend. Actually, this is the start of a trend. I told you two candles will form a trend. So there's a trend here. Yeah, this is not a trend. This here right there is not a trend. It's just a place where there was significant amount of selling, which could become an order block later. So where do I want to see Bitcoin go to? Number one, I have seen it that it traded into a significant level, coupled with the fact that apart from, you will see that on the monthly time frame, it was a rejection block. I told you support and resistance takes many forms: rejection, order blocks. Okay, I've mentioned rejection block, order block, support and resistance, and all of that. Or diagonal support and resistance. They are just different ways of identifying support and resistance. So the support was in the form of a rejection block on the monthly time frame, but where you want to start getting your confirmations from is if a monthly time frame we traded into support, and then on the weekly time frame again we are trading into another thing that is a representation of support again. You see that is when you can actually enter a trade in that place. So on the monthly time frame we came into this rejection block, which is support. On the weekly time frame we came into this other block. You see this place here, this is an other block. That is why I was confident to call that market was going to bounce from this place, because why? We're trading into two significant time frames. In two major time frames, market was at support, or a representation, two different representations of support. So yeah, here you could have taken a long and your stop loss will have been below this other block, and you'll be fine. As you can see, you would have been actually fine with that. So if you are taking a trade with just the concept of order block here, look at this order block here. And why will you be confident that this order block will hold? Because on higher time frame, it's a rejection block, another representation of support, so you can buy there. But now we see that there's this diagonal support. There's this diagonal support and resistance that looks like we are breaking it. If market trades like this, comes down, trades this, and then starts coming down, that means we have lost the trend that this diagonal support creates. Do you understand the thought process now? But if market trades like this and then it comes up, I will not even start rushing. Now I want to confirm, will it continue going up? And how can I confirm if it will continue going up? Like I told you, you have to see it test a downtrend for you to be sure that it wants to continue going up. Just like there was a downtrend here and then market tested it for the first time. That is actually very good sign. So I know that okay, there might be correction, but because there was enough strength for it to have tested, gone all the way up to test this resistance point. If it was something like this, that Bitcoin came down and then it went up, it could not really make any first touch on this, then I will clearly tell you that this market is now becoming bearish. Why? Because it did not even have enough strength to go back up and test its previous downtrend. So for us to be going up, we have to be testing downtrends. For us to be going down, we have to be testing uptrends. That's just the logic of this market. The trend is your friend. Follow the trend. So now, where is the next trend on this weekly time frame that I can use as confirmation to know if this market wants to continue going up or not? A very, very key one that I want to see is this downtrend here, this small downtrend here. If markets can, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, come trade up here and make at least first touch on this downtrend that was created here before any form of correction, then I will tell you that this market is already giving us signs of continuation. It's giving us continuation signs. But if it trades up now and then it comes here and it cannot necessarily make first touch on the trend it created here and it starts reversing, then it will have shown you that clearly it is now respecting an order block here, and the order block here is the reverse. This is a bearish order block. There's a bearish order block here. You see it, the red and the green candle before this downtrend was created. It's a bearish order block. So you see, it's two ways now. That's why I'm saying it's a critical level in the market currently, because it can be two ways. If market is able to come and respect this order block here, this bearish order block, then we can say we can start seeing fake out to come and take out a liquidity here. Liquidity can be seen, a representation of liquidity is when you have two clean levels, like when you have a swing point and another swing point that are almost on the same line that is too clean. That's liquidity rests below that place. And if you look at this swing point here, so let me make it as clean as possible. I'll remove this uptrend for now because I've already represented that for us. But if you look at this place here, if you look at the swing point here and the swing point here, you see they form this very clean. It's very clean, like it's too clean. That's liquidity. That's a way for you to understand physical representations of liquidity in the market. Do you understand? So it's too clean. That is why I am having the suspicion that okay, even though market wants to continue going up, it might want to come and take out this clean level. Yeah, it's too clean. Like a lot of liquidity actually rests below here, but market does not necessarily have to come for it now. If we are if we are able to trade up and we do not respect bearish order block. You see, let me make this thing clear for you as much as possible. I hope you can get it where I want you to get it, but let me remove all of this. Remove this, remove this, remove this. So I'm busy now. So you see, this person wants me to lose my thought process. Sorry, I'm receiving a call and it's really bothering me. So let's continue. I want to emphasize how critical we are currently in the market to you. There are two things that can determine where we'll be heading very soon in this market according to this time frame. You know, I'm not going to the daily time frame now. On the monthly time frame, it is clear to me that we have not lost any trend. So the monthly time frame still looks bullish. Yes, I'll say that for a fact that the monthly time frame still looks bullish. Why? I've not lost any significant monthly trend. But now on the weekly time frame, it's at a critical place because number one, there is sign that we could be losing an important trend on the weekly time frame. This is a trend here. This is another trend here. We have actually even lost two trends now on the weekly time frame. You see, let me mark out those trends. I told you it takes at least two candles of the same color to form a trend. So that also shows you that there is a trend here. Look at this. This is also green. This is also green. So these three candles form a trend actually. Like it or not, it forms a trend. So let's mark it. If I mark it here now, you see that is the first place that I started looking at this market that even though we have not lost any trend on the monthly time frame, on the weekly time frame however, we have lost two trends. We have lost a trend. We are in the process of losing the second one. If we lose the second one, then that is confirmation that okay, there are lots of bearish signs entering into this market, which might launch us into a full bear season. But currently it is not yet so, in my opinion. We are not yet there yet. Well, I said sorry about my English. We are not there yet. Do you understand? We are not there yet until we start clearly losing these trends. Yes, we lost trend here. That's quite evident. There was a trend here. We lost it. And why is that? Why was it easy for us to lose that trend very fast? It's because on the monthly time frame we hit a resistance point. There was a significant resistance. Let me go back to the monthly time frame so you can see it. There was a significant resistance that everybody in the world could see it, because this and everybody in the world can see it. This is a start of a downtrend. The start of a downtrend on the monthly time frame is strong. The monthly time frame is not to be messed with. When a trend, it takes a lot. You see how long did it take to form this trend? It took 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to create this trend. So you don't expect us to come and then we'll trade and just start skyrocketing above it. That was why when everybody was calling for 100k last year, you see me calling for a lot of bearish signs in the market. If you are in my signal group, you see I've been saying that I expect the market to correct, and all of that. But when we started trading this, I also got it's all speculations. Nobody can really say for a fact. That's what I want you to understand. Nobody can really say for a fact that this is exactly what is going to happen. But what I'm trying to say is it was just normal for us to test this and correct. This is a monthly trend. It took 3 months to create that trend. It took 3 good months. So you don't expect us to just come here and start breaking it and then 100k to the moon. Yeah. Fundamentally, we have strong fundamentals behind it, but to still respect market conditions, technical conditions too. Do you understand? So, but the mere fact that we were even able to make first touch on the trend before the correction is good. It's a very, very good signal in the first place. So, moving now back to the monthly, that is why I said, oh, we could easily lose the trend here. Why? Because we hit a monthly resistance. Yes, that will drive market down. You see the way it reacted. Market came down and yeah, made first touch on this little rejection block here. So sorry, I went too much. So now, critical place that we are in the market is, are we going to respect this bearish order block? There is this bearish order block here, or are we going to have enough strength to give us a bullish confirmation by what? Trading up and making at least first touch on the start of this downtrend. You know, if we have been able to make first touch on, if we're able to make first touch on this downtrend here, that means we must have violated and not respected this bearish order block. Do you understand? And that will mean that will give us good signs that, oh, this market wants to continue. But in a case whereby market cannot trade above the bearish order block here, at least maybe it's so I like to use the body of the candle. So yeah, so if market trades now, and from here we come to around this place, and we start we go down to the lower time frames, and we start seeing a lot of rejection around this place without moving up, then something like this might happen, and that will mean we have lost this overall diagonal trend here, and the market can come and attack this liquidity truly. But if that is not the case, if we're able to trade and market has enough strength and we make first touch on this before a rejection, then what I would expect is for us to what? Make that touch, come down, and then make a retest on this diagonal support. Yeah, make a retest on it for us to now, and you know, when the retest will be happening here now, this will now become something like an order block. So this is a potential order block in the future, that when market trades up, this order block gets activated as an order block, and then we can now see rejections back into it where you can buy. Do you see? So if the market is able to make first touch on this downtrend here, then any form of correction back into this green zone, I can tell you to buy. Of course, manage your risk with stop loss, not financial advice and all of that. It's just merely speculations. But if we cannot make first touch on this downtrend here, and we start respecting this bearish order block, then it's not so good. That is why I say we are in a critical point in this market currently. This is why I say we're in critical point. So it's two things, yeah, and that is where my conclusion is on the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, on the monthly time frame, we have not lost any trend, so we are still bullish. On the weekly time frame, we are at a critical point where the next 1 to 2 weeks will show us if we are now going to be bearish or bullish, because the next 2 or 3 weeks we are going to see if we actually lost this trend truly, or it's just a manipulation to make people feel that it is lost. And it's not necessarily a manipulation. You see, any form of support line, there's always liquidity below it. People saw the bounce here and then another bounce here, so it's just normal for them to want to buy here and put their stop loss here. So market can easily take out all of those stop loss. Do you understand? But for a smart trader, you will not have taken a trade here. No, you will not have taken a trade here. Why? Because you can identify that on the monthly time frame there's a rejection block, coupled with the fact that on a weekly time frame there's an order block where you can take your trade from. You know, as much as possible you manage your risks, and you want to take the risks with the lowest risk and highest reward. You have to be stingy with your entry. So you taking a trade here, So yeah, sorry about that. I had to reply somebody that is calling me and all of that. So yeah, to continue, I said the next few weeks is going to be what will determine if we are actually bearish or bullish. I hope you have been following me. It's already a lot. I didn't expect this to be as long as this, but it's 45 minutes, and yeah, just try and follow along with me. So what is important now? Let me mark them out. I'll represent this one with let me change the color. Let me change the color to red. Yes, red, because we don't want to see this being respected, and I like to use the body. So, and let me now mark it so that you can understand it very well. Text. This is a bearish order block. This is bearish order block. So that's too much. Yeah, and let's make it under. Yeah. So the red line here is a bearish order block. Let me make it profound. So this is a bearish order block here, and then this is the start of an uptrend, a downtrend. Weekly downtrend. Sorry. Weekly down. So that's a weekly downtrend, and I'm going to mark it as green. Yeah, mark it as green. Then the size can be 20. Yeah, that's a weekly downtrend, and then I will color it green also, because they are the two critical levels that I want to see. If we respect one, the other one will not be respected. If we respect, like what I'm trying to explain is, if this trades up now and respects this bearish order block here, and it cannot trade above it, if it cannot trade above it, that means it cannot make first touch at least on this downtrend that started here, which I'm representing with this green line. And then we now go to the maybe 4-hour time frame, and you're now seeing a lot of rejection here. The market is now coming down and closing below this. Then you should know that what is happening is what? Most likely we are coming down to take out the liquidity here, this clean level. Do you understand? I'm trying to explain my thought process to you. Or what we can see again is, it might be a lot of struggles, but market now trades up and can make first touch on this weekly downtrend, this first weekly downtrend here. If we're able to make first touch on this first weekly downtrend here before any form of correction back down here, then we can confidently say, oh, because we have been able to test this downtrend, that means if we have the strength to test downtrends, market wants to what? Continue creating new uptrends. But if you cannot test downtrends, then that would be a disaster. Or you can short if you are a futures trader, but I don't recommend shorting cryptocurrencies because of the fundamentals behind them. That is why I don't recommend this, because you never know when the time trend will change. It's a new technology and it's getting adopted really fast. So you betting against the market is not, unless you are very good and you are confident of what you are doing, do not short cryptocurrencies. That's my opinion. I know you have a different opinion, but if you agree with me, that will be better. So yeah, that's it. It's either we come up, test this, and then we're not able to have enough strength to make attempt on this downtrend, thereby losing trend. That would mean that we have lost this diagonal support, and then we can come down, and the next place to see a bounce will be what? These clean levels here. Take out these clean levels before any form of bounce. Or we trade up, and if I'm able to make first touch here, then we can buy any form of correction to see that, oh, this will just fake out on this. And when market fakes out, that's why you can never miss any opportunity like that in this market, because after it moves, it will still come and give you retest. Do you understand? So it breaks it now, it is doing the retest on it. Like anytime it breaks something, it will come and retest it for it to give you second chance to enter. So it has tried to break this trend, which I don't think it has broken it. Now it's at a point of making a retest. The retest is not enough reason for you to enter into the market here to start shorting. You have to first see, oh, where is the place you can short. You can decide to start shorting here, and your stop loss will be above here, because anything that makes this market to come up and make first touch on this price level. So let me mark out the price level now. Show price. Yeah, so the price is 46,681. If it cannot break 46,681, or it slightly breaks above it and then it cannot actually just close and start coming down, then we can see market will come down. I'm emphasizing this a lot so that you can just get it. I hope you get it. Or another scenario that can happen is we'll come up, test this. If you're able to do that, that will be what I want to see. I'll be really glad. Then any form of correction down here, you can buy this trend for it to move up, and then the next form of resistance we'll be seeing is this downtrend. This uptrend that was broken can now be retested. So we can have something like this again to come back and retest if this was broken, and then we can make new entries. And because this monthly time frame has already been tested the first time, I expect that the second attempt at it, yes, we can break it, and that will be actually nice, because you will see overall it will mean that Bitcoin is just forming this wedge here, and then we can push up. That would be really nice. So I just made a lot of scribbles on my screen, and I hope you understand or get my point. You can still ask me your questions later, but this is what I think is going on in the market currently. So what do I want to see? I will be sitting down on my hands actually the next few weeks, and I'll be protecting my positions as much as possible, because I believe we are at levels that are very critical and will determine what will happen in the next months. So if we're able to break this, then we can come down, and coming down would mean we are testing this trend. So you will now understand that we have lost this trend. By the time we are trading here now, you see we have lost this weekly trend, we have lost this other weekly trend. Now we are testing this one. Then we can say we have started losing series of consecutive trends. And also on the monthly time frame, we would have been testing the first trend, which is this one right here. Sorry, I don't like my screen getting cluttered. So that if we start trading around this place next, that means we will now be testing a monthly trend too, a monthly uptrend, and that's not what I want to see. That will not be really, really good. What we want to see in this market is testing downtrends, because if we're able to test downtrends, it's indicative that the market has enough strength and it wants to go higher. Do you understand? So yeah, that is it. So this place is a very critical level. Let me mark it out. This is where the determinant is. That is why, if for people in my group, I told them that this place was a decision point, because there are two things that can happen. We can actually respect this bearish order block and continue going down, or we can make first touch on this downtrend, which is indicative of strength that we can actually push higher. So by that time, we can buy any form of retracement. Understand? So that's it. So on the monthly time frame, we have not broken any trend. We are still an uptrend. Market has not broken any significant uptrend. We have only tested, and the only thing we have done is we have tested a downtrend. We have tested it first time. That is good. First touch, rejection. Then we'll go again for the second touch. The second touch might not be enough to break it, but that's also good. We might come up again, see a little bit of rejection. By that time, we will now not want to see it breaking the uptrend that it has created in the process of touching it. If it now starts breaking the uptrend it creates in the process, then that will not be good. But for it to come up now, back now into this region here, then it has to create some series of uptrends too. So you see, we have now tested downtrend and we are creating new uptrends. That will be really, really LD for this market. So the conclusion now is, on the monthly time frame, we are not yet bearish, we are still bullish. On the weekly time frame, this is just my opinion actually. On the weekly time frame, we are at a critical points in the market where the next 1 week and 2 weeks will determine a lot. maybe we are going to launch into a beer season or not. But now we are not yet in a beer season. Don't Okay, maybe a lot of you have lost a lot of money on your halts, but yeah, that's why I've told you to hold good projects. Hold good projects. If you are investing long time and you're investing all your money in shit coins and all of that, yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of money. Or maybe you're just investing in a project that you don't really know much about. Yeah, you expect to lose a lot of money. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. So yeah. So now coming to the weekly and to the daily time frame now. So we have determined our bias on the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame is still bullish. The weekly time frame is not bullish. It might be, it's not bullish, it's not bearish. We're at a critical point. Do you understand? So I'll be neutral on it now till there are further confirmations in the market. So let's look at the monthly the daily time frame. So I'll go as far back as this place here and try and mark out the trends. So you see there's a trend here, there's another trend here, there's another trend here, then there are semi trends here that have been broken, but consequently daily we have been making a lot of, market has been in a lot of downtrend on this daily. You see there's been a series of downtrends, but then market structure has not really broken. Market structure has not really broken. We are still trading within this zone. So you see, market structure has not really broken. There has not been any significant break in market structure for me to now confirm that, oh, we are no longer you see, everything that has been happening has just been within this zone. So market went up, came down, went up, came down. Do you understand? And the way we are seeing a bounce here is even good, because you see it's not like it came all the way down. Okay, let me explain that well. It went up, came down, went up, it came down. You see, it did not really come as low as it did in the past before this rejection, which is good. You see, at the rejection block on the monthly time frame, also the weekly order block, there's a nice bounce. That's good enough. There's not been, because when you focus on just this place, this part now, that you say, oh, look at this bleed. The market has been bleeding all of this on the daily, and that's what a lot of people do. They don't look at the bigger time frames. You just focus on this whole bleed. But if you zoom out, it's very good to look at the big picture in anything you do in this life, and you look at it. This market has actually just been within a range, within this range on the daily time frame, and what it has done is it went up, came down, went up, also came down, and now it's looking like, oh, it's doing a form of laddering. So yeah, what are the important levels? These ones are still holding. So now you see that market can still trade all the way up into all of this place in the coming weeks, and then I will not still be saying, oh, we are bullish, and because we are now seeing 45k or 47k, as long as we have not come up the way up here to make touch on this 52k, then in my opinion, based on the you put preference on the two major time frames, the bigger time frames, weekly and the monthly, more than all these lower ones. Do you understand? So yeah, this one is, we just wait for confirmation on the daily. This has been a nice bounce. And one thing I want to also understand is, all this while that we have been trading down, and we have not really hit any form of monthly time frame, monthly resistance. I say monthly resistance, sorry, monthly support. We have not really hit. Okay, we were trading at this weekly support, but because of our analysis on the monthly time frame and weekly time frame, and all of this might look like hindsight, but actually I called all of this move. For people that are in my class and that are in my group, you see that all the moves that have happened over the past 1 month, I called it all beforehand. So it's not something like I'm coming here to now tell you in hindsight. I've already analyzed all of this in the past 1 month, and I dropped it on the group. So let me just show you, actually, so that it will not be as if I'm just coming here in hindsight. I have this signal group where I organize So I hope this is recording this screen. Yeah, I hope this is recording. So you see, now I said that we are currently at a critical. This was today, and you see, going as far back as the 7th of January, I had already. Let me show you. I'd already called all the moves that happened. You see, I called all these moves that happened recently in the market. So I'm not coming here to just give you something in hindsight. I'm coming to explain my thought process and also try to show you what I think will happen in the next few weeks actually. So yeah, that is it. I hope that captured my screen well. I'm using this recording app for the first time. So that is it. So what do I look to see? It's still that same analysis. Hold on and see what happens at these two levels. There's this. I have to round up this because it's already getting too long. There is this significant level here, a bearish order block, and then there is the start of this weekly downtrend. If market comes up and respects this and is unable to make first touch at least on this, then that will not be so good for the market. That means we have now been trend is changing hands. It also means that we have lost this trend, because going back to the monthly, you see that this is a monthly I said monthly, weekly, this is a weekly trend. So it's not be so good, and we might start trading downwards like this. But if market violates this bearish order block and does not necessarily respect it, and it's able to make first touch here, then any form of correction that you see coming down into this diagonal support will be a good buy. But as much as possible, you try to manage your risk, because it could still extend all the way down here into this order block. Into this order block. There's an order block now that has been created here. So this is a daily. It's a daily order block. If you want to know what order block is, you have to like I don't know, take my class or something. So yeah, what do I expect to see? Two scenarios. Like I always tell you, there are two scenarios in this market currently that I expect to see. One of them is market trades up and then it comes and hits this bearish order block and it's unable to move up higher. Then we can start seeing it coming down here. Then it can come back and retest this for a final loss of this diagonal trend on the weekly before we can start breaking down and all of that. That is a scenario. Or market from here can trade up, violate this, make a significant amount of consolidation around it to push it upwards, making first touch on this weekly downtrend. That will indicate to us that market has hit a major support on higher time frames like the monthly time frame and the weekly time frame, and now trend is ready to change. How do we know trend is ready to change? The consecutive down moves will now be changed if we are able to start testing downtrends. So the first downtrend would be this. So this is the first downtrend you want to see tested, and then if it is able to make that first stage, yes, I expect it to move up and maybe hit this form of mitigation block here. There's a mitigation block here before we move downwards, and yeah, it will take out all the liquidity below the consolidation that happens at this bearish order block for us to now move into a full-fledged up into this there's an uptrend that was broken downwards on the weekly time frame here, which is represented by this line here. We can now come back and retest it, and from there here we can now discuss the market conditions around that place and determine what else we think can happen. So yeah, I hope I've been able to break down my thought process for you, and yeah, so it's all about speculations. Don't try to catch the bottom. There's nothing to gain from saying, oh, this is the bottom every time, and then markets keep dipping against you. Wait for confirmation as much as possible. But what I would love as much as possible to see, and what I think would happen in this market, is a scenario like this. I might be wrong, and if I am wrong, that means the second scenario will play out, which is we respect this bearish order block and then we can launch downwards and after a few other confirmations, then I can now say we are in the bear season. So yeah, currently market is at a critical level, and it's best for you to just observe. So where do you want to start coming into the market? Once the market has been able to make first touch on this weekly downtrend, and then any form of retracement that you see, yes, you can start keeping putting in your orders back into the market for a move higher. But until I see that, then I will not be necessarily calling any form of longs. It will just be shorts for me. So yeah, I hope this is insightful and was helpful in any way. And yeah, please leave your comments and your feedbacks, and let me know what you want me to talk about next. Or maybe you give me a project you like, and then I can analyze it and we'll all discuss it together. Yeah, thank you for your time, and let me go and edit this video.